Welcome back to Noise Avocation Podcast, episode 45, I believe, if I'm counting that right. I'm Ryan, here with Jeremy as always.
Yo.
You got any news you want to talk about?
As always, somebody died. I'm sure everybody knows Tina Turner passed away. That's shitty. She was a cool lady.
Yeah.
I know.
That was just like the most nonchalant way to describe her.
know.
She was
I shouldn't have to, but...
No, I know, like you should already know.
But she was
She was a fucking rock star, dude.
Yeah, dude. If it wasn't for Tina Turner, there'd be no Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
That's that. For black women, she was fucking huge. For women, she was huge. Rock and roll, she was huge. All that bullshit she had to deal with Ike in that kick-ass movie with Angela Bassett. That came out when I was probably, 90, 91, 92, whatever. I was 5 or 6 years old. So, in all honesty, that's how I was introduced to Tina. And then, I saw her in Thunderdome and shit like that. And What's Love Got to Do with It was still playing like every 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was my introduction, was that song.
Right.
And then I remember when I first started collecting records, Tina's records were everywhere.
Yep.
So I grabbed them up because they were like 50 cents at the time, or $1. And then I seen somebody talk about someone trying to sell them for $80 the other day.
That's just insane. Now, I do have a couple of older Ike and Tina albums, and those seem to be a little harder to find that aren't all like beat up.
Oh, yeah.
But
I had a sealed one for a while.
Yeah, those.
I don't know what I did.
Some of those there's some really, really good songs on some of those. Like, I think, we're supposed to talk about, Tina's death, and I'm not saying Ike was a good person, because clearly he had his own demons and issues. But from a musician standpoint, if he wouldn't have done all that cocaine and drugs and crazy shit, I think he would have be remembered as a way better guitar player than he's given credit for, because he orchestrated that whole shit. He found Tina. He put, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a very smart musical genius that I don't think he gets a lot of credit for because of his personal life.
Yeah, I could see that. How do you know that the coke and drugs didn't attribute to his musical outcome, though? And if he didn't do it, then he might have been terrible.
Now, I'm going to only base this on Tina's version, because that's the only version I have to go on. But that's kind of what it seemed like from either the movie or any other stories that have been told from her point of view, where it was like, oh, he was real sweet and good. And then once they started getting bigger and he could afford himself that cocaine, I mean... And he was addicted for his whole life. I believe that's what he died from.
Yeah. I mean, Rick James and countless amount of other people that once they were already an addict prior to, but once they got the money and the connections to just be delivered to their doorstep in large quantities, it was a recipe for disaster.
Definitely.
Or a recipe for great music. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of depends how you...
It's a thin line.
Definitely. But Tina...
Pun intended.
Another thing I really admire about Tina Turner is she lived in Switzerland, and her politics, told her where she thought best for her was, not here, so she lived somewhere else. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
and nobody blackballed her for it,
Right. To the most neutral place in the world,
right?
Politically, at least. I wonder what it's like in Switzerland.
I know, man. I want to go there. Apparently, if any sort of atomic bomb drops anywhere, because Switzerland's surrounded by 3 humongo mountainsides.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the most protected country in the world as far as that goes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned that a couple of years ago. But it's for you or I to become a citizen there, I don't think it'd happen.
Yeah, I would imagine
I don't think
a lot of shit to go through. Plus, they're probably not super keen on Americans.
Right, and we definitely don't have pockets deep enough to buy our way into that shit.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, rest in peace to Tina Turner. That is sad. In other news, I forgot to do this in our last episode, so go and check out the Sticker Bomb podcast. Is my friend Jesse, and he started a new podcast. I'll put a link to it in the description, but he interviewed us on his podcast, so go check that out.
It was a fun interview. Definitely check out Jesse's podcast, Sticker Bomb podcast. He's also involved in the music scene around here a few years back, too. So it was a enjoyable conversation.
Yeah, I had fun with it.
Definitely.
It makes you feel like very celebrity-ish.
Yeah, I definitely felt more important than I am.
Yeah. I didn't actually listen to the whole thing yet. I just listened to like half.
Yeah, I just skipped around to hear the ridiculous shit I said.
And I'm like, God damn it, I can't listen to myself talk this fucking long.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I gotta do it every time I edit.
Hopefully other people do, or we're fucking doing this shit for nothing, man.
Well, clearly people do. I mean, we got people listening. So
it's funny.
Somebody else out there likes the voice. But today we're interviewing Alex and Justin from Hellmouth. If you're not familiar with Hellmouth, they were a band out of Detroit that thrash metal, metalcore, hardcore.
It's like definitely a thrash punk with like a blackened lyric.
Yeah, they were really unique.
Definitely very unique sounding.
And Alex, that we're interviewing, is also in another band on Relapse Records called Temple of Void. And then they also have another project upcoming with him and Justin together called Love Interest. And I believe that came out today.
June 2nd. Yes.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Today would be the 3rd.
Yeah. One thing I do want to note, since we're recording this after we already did the interview, there is a spot in there that has like some glitchy sounding voice, and it was a connection issue. Really much I can do about it in edit. But anyway, before we get into the actual interview, I'm going to play a track here called Spitting Blood and Teeth off Gravestone Skylines, which was their second record. Hellmouth will be playing at Sanctuary in Detroit on October 14th, so if you're in the area or traveling around to the area, definitely go check that out, because it's the first time that they've played, 5-6 years or something like that. Actually, no, I think it was longer than that, they said.
7 years.
Yeah.
They'll say in the interview, but if you do have a chance to see this band live, I suggest doing it. They're very, very tight.
Yeah, I never got to see them live, but I would imagine just from the sound of the band that they're killer live.
Yeah.
But anyway, here is Spitting Blood and Teeth from Hellmouth.
Rock out with your cock out. Power!
I can't dream.
All right, we have Alex and Justin from Hellmouth with us. Thank you guys for jumping on the show.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Just so people can match names with voices, go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do in Hellmouth.
Juju, you want to go first?
Yeah, I was going to say we could go alphabetical, but I'll go. I'm Justin. I play drums in Hellmouth.
Hey, and I'm Alex, and I play guitar in Hellmouth.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, again, thank you guys for jumping on the show. It's cool to see that you have something upcoming. Is there any details past the show that you guys posted? Like, do you have a new record in the works or anything that you want to kind of give a little sneak peek to?
I mean, nothing official. I guess, Justin, we haven't talked about what hand we want to show.
I was going to say the second that question I was asked, I was like, God damn it, we should have probably talked about this beforehand.
No. That's why I asked if you wanted to sneak
Right,
peek.
right.
Because I knew the show's like a ways out. So I was like, well, I don't know how much detail we're really going to get. But
Yeah, no, I mean, we're definitely just amped on playing the show right now. I mean, there's been talks of maybe other things. It's so far out and,
yeah.
I don't really know exactly how far to elaborate on that.
That's
we
enough.
never broke up, so that's one thing. So we're just we've been a sleeping giant or a sleeping bear or whatever it may be.
Hibernation.
So yeah, I don't know. It's got us interested in playing again. So we'll see. Looking forward to the show big time. And if anything else happens around that, then that'll be, I guess, only time will tell.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what brought on the show? 'Cause when was your last show before you guys went into a little break?
Dude, I think we only played one show on the last record, right? That was the release show.
We did the record release show for Oblivion, and that was the last time we played. When did that come out, Juju?
2016.
It's over 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
2016.
probably 2017 or something.
2016.
2016. So that's the last time we played. So what show was it, Justin, that Jay did vocals for recently? Because that was the impetus for this whole thing.
That was Snafu. Was it Negative Approach, I think? I think it was at a Negative Approach show.
And Snafu covered like 3 or 5 songs or something, and they had Jay do vocals, and he didn't tell us about it until after the fact. And we're like, oh, okay.
That they were covering Hellmouth songs.
Yeah.
Dope.
He had told me a little bit beforehand. I think I was out of town or something for it because I wanted to go see it, but I don't think he told you. And regardless, it got us, excited about the idea of doing it again. And I mean, me, Alex, and Jeff have been playing a lot lately and something else too. So it's just all kind of made sense after he did that.
And it's like our 15-year anniversary. So that was just like the cherry on top. Like, all right, we've been around for 15 years. And it's, I would say, literally a new generation of kids. It's very conceivable that, some people maybe at the show weren't even born when we did our first record.
Yeah,
might be coming out,
God,
so we're getting to that stage.
I have seen you guys play twice. Once at an Earth Mover reunion show, a long time ago, maybe 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And then most recently would have been in July with Earth Crisis. It was like 2016, 17 maybe. And
Is that the Magic Stick?
that was at the skate park,
Okay.
the Royal Oak skate park or whatever. And
right. Yes. Yeah,
I
that was
believe
weird.
you guys were playing. You guys played songs I never heard before. So
Yeah.
maybe that would have been off of Oblivion before Oblivion came out. I'm not sure, but
Oh yeah.
Dude, I forgot all
it was
about that
cool.
show.
I mean, you guys put on you guys are a tight band live, for sure.
Thanks.
I was gonna say, are you even sure you're talking to the right guys? I have like no recollection of either show.
That's the other. I was like, damn, man, if Jeff was on this, he would have recalled all that.
I don't remember the Earth Remover. Now when you say the skate park, I remember that vaguely. But where was the Earth Mover?
The Earth Mover one
show?
was at the shelter.
Do you remember that, Judy?
And it was, dude, it was a long time ago. I'm trying to think. Let me get my years straight. Because my kid turned 16 in a week, and I kind of base it off of that. I think he was like 2. But anyway. This
whole thing is making me feel way older.
I picked up Gravestone Skyline at that show from one of you at the table. That was my introduction to your band. Because I said, I had a little kid. So like there was a period where like I didn't focus on anything but, you know, being a dad. So I remember seeing that show. Yeah, so it's cool that you guys are going out again.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, hopefully we don't die while we play.
You gotta work up to it.
You've all been.
Well, I mean, that was one of the reasons we stopped initially. Was I had to have like shoulder surgery, so it was just like the perfect storm of, like, you know, everything falling apart, physically, literally.
Yeah.
So you guys you've been in other bands together, though, yeah.
Yeah, currently me, Alex, and Jeff are doing something called Love Interests, which kind of formed out of us jamming with Hellmouth again randomly. Alex has been doing Temple of Void. Me and Jay have been doing the Suicide Machines together for way longer than it feels now.
Yeah, that's been like close to 30 years, isn't it?
Yeah, they have. I've been doing it with those guys for like 13 or 14 years now, and it feels like a year or two. So again, just going back to how old we all are.
Yeah.
And then Justin also filled in for bass in Temple of Void when we went to Europe. So we've shared the stage on numerous fans.
Yeah.
Nothing but Sarah support.
Now, how far has Hellmouth toured? Did you guys ever really go on a tour?
No. I mean, we did like long weekends, pretty much.
I feel like if you guys would have went out at that time and really pushed that, kind of like I wonder where it would be now. Because I don't think anything still really sounds like Hellmouth, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like weird pool of musicians and styles, you know?
Yeah, I'd like to... It's nice to hear that. I'd like to think that we do something original within whatever genre it is that we are in. I think we definitely have our own sound. And it's certainly based on the eclecticism of the people involved.
For sure.
Because we all have such different backgrounds, yet we all have a Venn diagram of overlapping stuff that makes sense. But to get to your question about, you know, touring, I remember Slayer's manager reached out to us, or Slayer's booking agent or something like that. And they're like, hey, we heard, you know, about Hellmouth, you know, what are you guys up to? And I remember telling them, well, we have careers and stuff, and we can't be like full-time road dogs. Right. And the guy just never wrote back. Gotcha. It was like, wah.
Well, I mean, right. You have life, you have families, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just wrong place, wrong time, kind of.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a word to define Hellmouth, really, as far as a genre. I was blanking there, though. Like Jeremy said, and you guys said, it really is like Alex, you were in Coalition, Justin coming from Suicide Machines, and I'm sure you've had other bands in between there. It's a cool blend of hardcore, but like the right splash of metalcore and some thrash mixed in there.
Yeah, man, it's a great compliment. I always just feel like me and Alex always talk about, you know, when we did that Temple of Void tour and on tour with these dudes from Finland that are like uber metal, and they were great, but like we just kept saying, you know, punk rock is the foundation for everything that we do in all of our bands, essentially, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think if you played, because Justin, you played drums in For Dire Life's Sake, right?
Yep.
Okay, I saw your band play, or I've seen that band once, but unfortunately, I don't recall too much of that time. It was even longer ago than the other two.
It's okay. I don't recall much either.
Cool. But if you played that and then Alex played something from Coalition, and than Suicide Machines, I don't think anybody could guess that that's what would come out. You know what I mean? Is Hellmouth.
For sure. Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes it fucking cool.
Well, wait till you hear Love Interest. You're really not gonna.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it down, man. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, Friday.
This
Friday.
Yeah, this Friday.
Alex?
What? Yeah. I mean, so that would be, I don't know when the podcast is going to come out, but it'd be Friday, June 2nd.
Yeah,
that's when our debut EP will be available to pre-order on vinyl.
Oh, right on.
And
I was gonna say,
you're gonna be
think that Hellmouth was
maybe
a weird combination, as like the sound was a weird, result. Wait, this is gonna really be strange.
Cool.
In a good way.
Yeah. It's hard to push these genres in different directions where they haven't already been pushed. You know what I mean?
Totally. I mean, I think that was also another reason why, obviously it was just kind of a perfect storm of us stopping playing with like me with some like health stuff and just life in general. But you can only write so much stuff you can only push it so far until it sounds like a different band,
Right.
And I've always wanted to, like with Temple of Void, it's very simple. Like I don't know, nothing simple, but like we're a death doom band. That's the genre that we chose to play in.
Right.
And so we choose to push the boundaries within the genre as best we can so that we're not generic and that we have our own defined sound. But we fly the flag of death doom, so on some level, like what? It has to have death metal in it. It has to have doom metal in it.
Yeah, you know what you're
it's
getting
not.
into.
Yeah, but then we add in all other stuff that makes it what it is, and that's what sets it apart. With Hellmouth, we didn't necessarily have that like line in the sand, But then I feel like over time, rather quickly, we turned into what we were and what we are, and it felt disingenuous to like go too far away from it, because if you stray too far, then I feel like we're just not being true to what Hellmouth is. And it's the same thing like with Temple of Void. Like if we get too far out from what we are, then is it Temple of Void anymore? Like the concept of Temple of Void or the concept of Hellmouth. And I think that's why you see us do Love Interest, Temple of Void, Suicide Machines, whatever it might be, because there's no one band to like rule them all,
Yeah, I follow that.
You have to have different outlets. You have to draw a line somewhere.
No, and that's definitely cool. And Ryan and I were actually talking about this before you guys jumped on, about how like nobody follows people in bands anymore. Like Alex, for instance, if I'm into Coalition and then you get into Hellmouth and then to Temple of Void, like we're gonna follow you to be like, oh, what's this guy doing? And that doesn't seem to happen a lot anymore. But it's cool that you can have all those outlets and can do that,
Yeah, I mean, if you did follow any of us around, I guess you'd probably get fucking whiplash,
Yeah.
Well, you say that, Juju, but like I also think if you were a real like detective, you could totally catch the threads that are the same from, at least from my perspective, right? As a guitarist.
Oh, definitely.
You can definitely hear stuff from the Temple of Void that really we could play in Love Interest, and probably stuff from Hellmouth that you could play in Love Interest or Temple of Void, but that's because I'm only one of 6 people or one of 4 people or one of 5 people. And so you hear my voice throughout all the stuff that could translate, but it's not a solo project. So as soon as you throw in, 3, 4, 5 other people into each one of these bands, that's when each band becomes its own thing.
No, that's totally fair. I mean, and listening to the last Hellmouth record, just kind of like getting reacquainted with everything for us to play the show. I had written to you and Jeff, and I was like, holy shit, a lot of this is like such a precursor to Love Interest. Like there's shit in there that's just straight up like it could be Love Interest, It's like Blood Fire and all that. Yeah,
and you think about Leave the Light Behind from Temple of Void, that could be Love Interest, but I didn't know that at the time because it like it came before, preceded Love Interest.
Lyrically, who does the writing? Is that Jay, or does everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. I was curious because Hand as Cold as Death on the last album, Oblivion, is pretty fucking deep. But
yeah, dude, I mean, I can't really fully speak for him, but that was the time where he was working a job where he was working in a freezer all day. I think.
Okay.
Like,
I've been there.
like negative 30.
that
Like,
once.
Yep, I've been there, man. Sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's a wordsmith.
So from going from Hellmouth to playing in Temple of Void, did you struggle with like the tempo change there? Because they're two very different speeds of bands.
No, the idea was I think each time I do something, it's to express a different perspective. So given the speed, of Hellmouth, it was only natural for me that my other outlet didn't overlap with what I was doing with Hellmouth. I didn't want to write music that I was like, oh, what's this for, Hellmouth or TOV? It was like Temple of Void has its own charter, and that might be a 10-minute long slow song. You know what we sound like, Death Doom. And
Right.
There's no, I would never bring that to Justin for Hellmouth, or he'd kick my ass. It was just a different type of outlet, and if I wrote a 60-second, or a 13-second banger, then I knew that was a Hellmouth one. And it was about pushing my chops in different directions as a guitarist too, because I think you can only go to the well so many times before you end up dry or you get bored and you want to explore different things. And I find them really easy to compartmentalize, and that, I guess that's important for me as an artist.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a guitar player. It's more of I've picked it up a couple times, but I know what you're saying as far as if you get stuck you're playing like almost the same style riff over and over and it's boring and you just want to switch it up. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah. And that's the thing where I would like to think that all the bands that I do push boundaries within whatever, genre they may be, whatever the closest, genre may be. So I'm always looking for something inventive or a new way to push myself. And sometimes I guess you push so hard and you're like, well, I need to do a whole other band because I can't push Hellmouth any further than where it is. And so I think as we, like I haven't played, Temple of Wood hasn't played a show in North America in years now. Our last shows were with Justin in Europe last year. And as we get back to jamming again, I have to question, like, what do I want to do guitar-wise in Temple of Void now? Like, how far have I taken how I can express myself in that band? And then if we write new Hellmouth stuff, it's like, well, what does Hellmouth in 2023 sound like? Right. And if it has to sound like what it sounded like in 2016, the question I have to ask myself is, can I do that like genuinely? Because if it's not genuine and honest, then I'm not going to do it. But have I evolved beyond writing that kind of music? Will I still enjoy writing that kind of music? How far can I push it away from where it is, where it's still recognizable as Hellmouth? Because I think if you pick up a Hellmouth record, it needs to sound like a Hellmouth record, and our history is part of who we are. And I wouldn't want to do a 180 on someone and still slap a Hellmouth logo on it. Justin, what do you think about that as far as like the boundaries that we can push and what makes Hellmouth Hellmouth?
Well, no, I mean, I think that's what's kind of funny is like, not to keep pushing love interest, but like during the pandemic, we hadn't been gotten together in a long time. And we decided the four of us were just kind of, I don't know, I guess pissed off at the state of the world, as everybody was, and so we got in a room together and we were like, let's just see what happens and, maybe write some new Hellmouth shit. And like, as we were going, it was like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we went past the line in the sand, which was when it was like, all right, these are not going to be Hellmouth songs. We can't call this Hellmouth in good conscience, Yeah. So yeah, you can only push it so far, which is also like at times makes you feel like you're stuck in a box.
Right. And you got to enjoy being in that box. Absolutely. And I think that's okay. Like sometimes you can, right?
Yeah, no, it feels good I like my toes feel good in the box again,
Yeah. So love interest is Hellmouth without Jay then, basically?
Yeah, Jay actually, when it started, Jay was singing in it, actually. So it really would have just been Hellmouth with a couple extra people, but that just didn't work out.
Yeah, honestly, no, okay, so, yeah. I just, I don't know if I missed that earlier or what, so that's cool, and now I'm like super pumped to check this shit out.
Yeah, it's different. It's awesome. We're stoked. But yeah, Jay's super busy with the Trader stuff right now, and yeah.
So as far as rehearsing and stuff, then are you just kind of like you got to work around everybody's schedule. How's that?
We haven't truthfully started yet.
No, yeah, that's why I wondered.
Yeah,
when we get to it.
Well, the show is October 14th,
Yeah,
so I guess you got a while.
Yeah.
Oh, this was funny. I found on Wikipedia, it said that you guys were quoted as saying the band sounds like Celtic Frost, Raping Black Flag, while the Accused, Discharge, and Entomb have a circle jerk. I think it's pretty funny. I mean, I didn't say who said it, but you know.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
It
good.
wasn't me. I know
It wasn't me.
Oh man.
Oh, I thought that was funny.
I don't think we would come up with that quote in 2023.
No, yeah.
Hilarious. Anyway.
You can edit Wikipedia, right?
What's that?
Yeah, you can
I was
edit.
going to say you can edit Wikipedia, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Yep. Alex, maybe we get on that after this.
Yeah, we should say all those bands.
Celtic Frost.
Hugging Black. Yeah, exactly.
Is there other bands on the ticket with you guys, or is it so far just you playing October 14th?
So far, it's just us. I mean, we there's been some talks. We really don't have a game plan for it yet. We just want to just play a show. So,
and that's legit. Like, we're not hiding anything. We honestly don't know. We might just play by ourselves. We might have an opening band. Yeah. It's October 14th. We haven't figured it out. We've got a venue and we've got us and we're committed to doing it. That's all we know so far.
Yeah. I think a show just you guys would be sweet because you get right to the point at the beginning of the show and it'd probably be 2 hours long, give or take. So plus, like, think of how long it's been since somebody...
You like play 2 hours. You're crazy, dude.
Well, you can't do it for just a half hour and then be like, see ya.
35-minute set.
That's funny.
Well, then you're definitely going to need backup.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
People are going to be like, man, a half hour I came out for this.
Are you still...
it'll definitely be longer than a half hour, but good God. Yeah, just saying 2 hours just made my fucking heart flutter.
Well, you can take a little break in between, but I'm saying collectively.
Yeah, I think we'd have to play every record twice to hit 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I would
they
totally
are only
watch
like
that.
Yeah, because you got pretty much half hour per record. There's an hour and a half, and then encores.
Yep.
And let me tell you, we're not playing every record front to back.
Oh, my God. Are you guys still attached to a label as a band, or?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, I just wondered.
I'll be honest, we were never the most business savvy group of fellas to play music. So Alex, you might know. Yeah. Alex would be the smartest business one out of us.
Well, I got my band business smarts. They accumulated over time.
Yeah, over fucking up a lot, right?
They weren't necessarily in place. I don't think we talked about the other day. I don't think we've ever signed a contract.
Okay.
We signed Ferret.
Yeah, you're right.
One.
That was the only one we signed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why there's other people who are making money off of us on Spotify and stuff.
Well, that's like, that's kind of like what I was going to ask next is like, well, then how does that all work if...
Yeah, because you can stream all 3 records.
Right.
You guys would be surprised how little we know. But we were literally just talking about this other day. Like, I have no fucking clue where any of this stuff goes, where any of it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
it's very confusing too. It's not artist centric, like all this kind of stuff.
Right.
It's the deck is stacked against you. Those with the lawyers are the ones who know how to write things and
in their favor too.
Yeah, that's shitty. So you were on Ferret for like a album deal and then just pushed out your own records. It's on Fast Break,
right?
Yeah, the last one. And your band shows up on the Fast Break record website still. And I think you can still get the Oblivion CD from there possibly.
Yep. So we're not affiliated with anybody at the moment.
Gotcha.
See what happens.
Well, that's probably, I mean, obviously that's probably for the better anyway. Then you can do what you want as a human being.
Yeah, and you're not on a deadline to release this or that.
I guess we'll pay more attention and we'll sign something.
Oh, yeah, dude. I always kind of wondered when it's, your Spotify thing will say, at least mine, and I'm sure everybody else's will say, you listen to so-and-so this month, you're, donating $2 to them or whatever. And you know that $2 doesn't go to anybody in that picture, but
Yeah.
I wondered where it went.
Hey, absolutely not. It's pennies at best.
Right.
So, can we talk about the burnt Bible in the record? Or are you guys exhausted about that story?
Let's chat.
No, yeah, go for it.
So, whose idea was it originally? Because I don't know the whole story.
And I've only heard the rumors.
The rumors. There's rumors.
Oh,
There's
wow.
rumor.
Oh yeah, record collectors talk about that shit.
Oh, sweet. I don't really remember how it exactly started. We were all very game for it, just off the bat.
Yeah.
I do remember I had suggested we maybe burn a different holy book because like Christianity was such low-hanging fruit, you know, it felt like, oh, everybody does that, you know, and we're like, what about we burn the Quran, you know, just to switch it up a little bit. And
Yeah,
like honestly, I was like too scared from like a fatwa perspective. I'm like, someone's gonna put a hit out on us.
Yeah.
Like they're way too serious.
Yeah.
We can't burn a Quran, so we just, I guess, did the Bible.
I will say, while we were all game to burn the Bible, Alex just went ahead and bought like the most badass old fucking Bible ever, and we showed up to do it, and we're like, dude, come on, man! Like, even we were like, that's a really cool looking book.
Yeah, right.
I read it was like an 18th century Bible, if I remember.
Yeah,
It was
correctly.
it was 19th century. It's from like
19?
late 1800s.
Okay.
Nice.
And it was German, and it was beautiful. But I bought it because whatever the price was in our price point, and the size of it, like it was a good size. You know, we weren't going to get some like a nightstand style. We needed a lot of paper to burn.
Yeah.
And it looked cool, but it did feel a little not sacrilegious from our religion, like sacrilegious from like a books are amazing and we shouldn't be burning books
from an art
especially one that looks really cool.
Yeah, but you know, it was the Bible and it was spreading trash. So
yeah, I mean, I really don't condone book burning. None of us do. Obviously, that sucks. But we did donate proceeds to cancer through the profits, if I remember correct.
Yeah, the story that I heard was, and I don't know who, it was never said who in the band, but that the band did it because A, the album won't play, and B, to show like how dumb people are to pay X amount of dollar for.
No, it's how dumb we were. We didn't realize that it wasn't going to play.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that rumor
in our minds, you were going to have this like sort of flaked, burnt Bible ash in the wax, but it would have been like a sandwich, you know, and it would have been a playable record. Never in our dreams would be like, let's intentionally make a record that doesn't work, you know?
No, that's the rumor I heard, just to, you know, show like how silly consumerism is or something. But, you know, it's like we're like women, man, at a salon. We just fucking chit chat and all this shit gets.
That would be hypocritical of us, like to make records and then like shit on people for buying the records.
But then you donated the money to the cancer thing, so that made it like okay.
I mean,
I don't know. Obviously, it's just you know, bullshit, and you guys didn't even know it was gonna not work, which is even better.
Yeah, that makes the story way better.
Yeah, it does.
Did you?
I mean, that's an awesome rumor. Just fuck capitalism and consumerism.
Right.
So was the pressing of the ashes an in-house thing, or did you send it off to some company?
We sent it off, but we weren't allowed to tell them that it was a Bible. I remember that much of the detail. And I don't believe anyone has ever put burnt Bible ashes in a record before or since. So I think it's pretty awesome that we did it from that perspective.
To the best
of my knowledge, it's going to be
nobody.
fucking playable and
yeah, they'll do a proper way.
They're like, we got you.
Ours was first.
Yes.
Well, it is hard to find.
Yeah, there's only like 66 of them. I feel like they go for 150 or something on eBay.
No, double that.
Double that, yeah.
Damn.
Oh, cool.
It's like, again, you don't get to see any of that money though, do you?
No, but I got an extra box laying around here somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I've actually... there was one in Grand Rapids at Vertigo for a while, for the longest time. And I think they had 250 on it, and it eventually sold.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, there was only 66 of them, so that it is legitimately rare.
And like you said, you're the only people that have done that, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
Because that's like something I would hunt out, because it's fucking sweet. And I like weird little niche shit like that, where you're like, oh, this has this in it. Like Sleep pressed Pot Leaves into one of their records recently.
That's cool. Have you guys ever have you seen the Burn Bible? Because it gets all over it gets all over your hands.
Yeah, it's like tacky, like cheap concrete feeling almost. It's like or like Play-Doh sand or something. It's a weird texture.
Yeah, I've only taken it out a couple of times just because it gets all over my hands, and I'm like, I don't want to ruin the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Justin, tell them about when I think of it, I have a completely different memory from everyone else because I was there and we burned it. Justin, tell them about actually burning it and what went down.
What, in your backyard? We almost burned the garage down, didn't we? Like the lawn caught on fire and shit. Am I remembering this correct?
Yeah, like you had.
Oh, it was me. I did this.
Yeah. You had the canister, like the jerry can or whatever, and you poured some onto the flames, onto the Bible, and then like flames started going up the jerry can, and you started like flicking the can, and these balls of fire started going all around the backyard.
I honestly don't remember that.
You were flicking it with your wrist because you were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's like, it's like a flamethrower of just balls of fire going in the backyard. And
that was the Holy Spirit coming through.
Yeah, there you go.
Animals.
Yep.
That was your punishment right there for burning the Bible.
Yeah.
Man.
But we made it, man. We conquered.
We did it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. To me, it makes it cooler that it doesn't play now that I know the story behind it. Because I'm like, oh, that's way funnier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was not intentional.
So the picture of it being done, is that the actual book in the picture, or is that just like a generated Photoshop thing?
We had like a metal Hellmouth die cutout thing or whatever.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I was wondering if that was added in like graphic design wise, or if there was like a metal cutout or something.
No, I still have that actually.
Nice.
It's really sharp.
Yes, I remember that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all practical.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
now that you do motion graphics, I'm sure we could have just foamed it all in and it would all have been. But that wouldn't have been.
Wouldn't even had to burn shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I about
We just could have returned the Bible and got our money back.
or kept the cool book. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your album covers, you guys use the same guy every time? Andretti, and I can't pronounce his last name. I don't want to slaughter
Andrei
it.
Buzakov.
Is it Buzakov? Okay. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, Andre.
So how did you guys hook up with him? Because before this, I was kind of, studying a little bit, and I just noticed he did every cover. And then I started following him, and I didn't realize how many different covers he has actually done. And I just, like I said, I wondered how you guys hooked up with him. If you,
It was 100% Alex.
Alex?
I mean, I don't remember how initially. I'm gonna just imagine that with any band you do, you think who's gonna do the album art, and then you get together and you come up with a bunch of ideas, and then somehow through discussion, like somebody bubbles to the top, And I know personally, I liked Andre. To me, he seemed like Ed Repka, but without Ed Repka's price tag. He seemed like a sort of modern day Ed Repka, and that seemed to fit our. You look at his stuff. It fit our. He fit our price point. He fit the style, and then once we got the first one done, we kind of created this trilogy and stuck with him. And I think if we ever did a fourth record, I would definitely want him to do it. So there's all the records are gatefold. All of them have him on the cover.
Yep.
To me, I feel like he's part of our, big part of the aesthetic.
Yeah, that's cool. That first cover is dope too. Because like I said, I was looking at it before, and I guess I never noticed there's like a little dude hanging himself in a building. It's like a shadow, and there's all these little shit in there that I never really paid much attention to before. And I was just curious.
That's part, my friend Clint Ford, he does all the retouching for us.
Okay.
So essentially, you get the artwork from the artist, and most people would probably ship it like that. But I would always send it to Clint, and then he would mess with it in Photoshop to get the most out of the artwork, as far as like the color depth, and like the contrast. And he could just really like amp things up and take a really good piece of artwork and just make it shine, you know, and make it great.
Yeah, he's like
So
polishes it.
we had a lot of consistency. Like
Cool.
we had consistency from album to album with the personnel, the artist, the retoucher, and the record producer in studio. So if you listen to all three records, you know, the
they're all
formula's
pretty
there, the
cohesive.
personnel's there.
Definitely.
And it's also the same scene, just in further deterioration. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I follow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I never
dude.
realized.
Yeah,
that.
I didn't. And right when you said that, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, you can tell. You can definitely tell from the first one to the second one.
Right.
It's like a couple. You know, it's just
There's some
The
hints.
third one's obviously. I was gonna say if we did a fourth one, it would just be black.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
right.
do the Hellmouth
Black
black
with
album.
the Hellmouth logo.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yep. And then
Could we get what's his Andrei Buzikov to paint it black for us?
yeah, that would be so awesome. Funny.
Have it retouched and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was thinking about that, Justin. I was like, what would the fourth thing? And I guess it'd be some sort of, you know, Genesis or rebirth kind of thing, you know?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
maybe it'd be like a utopia or something like that. I don't know. Like,
Or somehow it gets real meta and we end up in the cave that was the temple,
Yeah.
the inside thing, and it's got you guys in the rowboat or whatever.
yeah.
Just
Maybe
be the
we go
search for
inside
stock.
that big crazy, like, you know, portal in the sky or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe the next one's on another planet.
Damn. Then we'd have to do 3 more.
Yep.
The Barbarella trilogy.
Yep.
So you said you used the same producer and same studio for the recordings. Where'd you guys record the original albums?
Well, the original, we did drums in a house, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Rancho Recordo. Is that what Mark? It's
Yeah,
Mark.
that's what he calls it.
He's the best name.
Rancho Recordo.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's.
It wasn't called that back then, though.
Oh, okay.
What was it called again, Justin?
That's what I don't remember. I feel like it was sort of in the.
Oh, Audiolux.
Because he was down somewhere and Left in Ruin had recorded there, which I think is how we got the. I'm so terrible with the with remembering the specifics on this. I just remember recording drums in a house and this big open house, and then did we do guitars and stuff there too?
I don't think so. I think we just got the drums there, and then we tracked everything with Mark somewhere else, and that was Audiolux. And then at some point, he changed his name or branding or whatever from Audiolux to Rancho Recordo. That might have been when he custom built his new studio.
Yeah.
But it was the same guy, just maybe in a different room. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
So you got to kind of like age with the studio then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty low hanging fruit, like pretty low on the totem pole of like his accomplishments at this point, but Mark can't shake this.
Who,
Yeah, who else is he
I was gonna
produced?
say, do you know offhand who else he's produced?
He does like Saves the Day, Taking Back Sunday, against Laura Jane Grace,
Against Me.
against
Yeah.
Those are way fucking different bands
Yeah,
from
no,
Hellmouth.
Way.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, we just did the love interest thing there with him too. Suicide Machines recorded Revolution Spring, the latest record there with him. Or it was just, he didn't do that one, but we recorded it there. Just,
Yeah,
it's a place we're all super, super comfortable recording it.
That's awesome.
that is a cool little juicy detail to know. I would have never known that outside of just asking that question. Like all three of those bands actually really got like huge for a while.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
Saves the Day, Taking. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those bands.
I think
blew the fuck
he's
up.
out with Cursive right now or Sunny Day Real. I don't know. I can't keep track of what he's doing, but it's big.
He got asked to go out with Sunny Day. Did he go out with them? Or maybe he was. I think they were going to go to England or something, but
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just went out to Omaha and recorded Cursive's new record out.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is you told me that he was potentially going to go out with Sisters of Mercy, and I'm still real mad at him.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, we're big Sisters
Both big
fans
fans
here.
of Sisters.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to go in next week? Is that next week?
Yeah, next Monday.
I just saw them 2 Mondays ago in California. And
What'd
they were
you think?
fucking awesome.
They were awesome.
They were awesome. I've heard that now they're not, like, Andrew can't sing like he used to.
Look, he wasn't doing all the singing. I will say that for sure. But like, dude, they put on a good show. Like, if you get past the fact that like they don't have a bass player, it's obviously they've never had a drummer. But it's like, dude, I don't know. It fucking sounded great. I had fun. I recommend going.
Well, that's
I'm excited to see
all
him.
that matters then.
Yeah.
That came up like really fast because I remember we were talking about that a while ago about Sisters playing.
But then there's Tied Down
It's
Fest.
like right before Tied Down Fest,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, shit.
That's what puts a wrench in everything.
Yeah, it's not the same night, is it?
No, it's like a week before or something like that.
No, I think it's
Okay.
It's like
Or is it the day before?
yeah, you go Friday. So technically, it would be like Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be Tied Down, and then Monday would be Sisters. And then I think there's something else like real close, maybe even within 10 days. That's like really cool to see too.
Yeah, that always happens, man. When it rains, it pours.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like right when the nice weather came to Michigan. There's like, here's shows.
Yep.
Yep. And then like, here's some overtime at work. Oh yeah, we're gonna need you to come in on Saturday.
Of course.
But
So the producer, just one last question on him. Was he a Michigan local or did you guys have to travel for that?
He's in Fenton. Like that's where his studio is. It's in Fenton, Michigan.
Okay. I would have never known that either.
Yeah, dude, and it's very unassuming where it is too, man. There's like chickens and shit running around. It's like it's cool.
It's a hole in the wall,
Beautiful
but a
studio.
recording
Yeah.
studio.
A hole in the country.
Yeah.
apparently Danny Carey has a studio in northern Michigan somewhere in an unassuming camp.
Really?
Yeah, and he put a video on YouTube about it because like my wife was like friends with his wife when they were like in high school or whatever. So she'll like keep up on that shit. So we're on the hunt for that.
That's awesome.
There's gonna be fucking cabins being broken
Yeah.
into across northern Michigan.
It's like nothing's taken, you know?
Yeah, nothing's taken. They're just like, sorry, looking for Danny.
But yeah.
Does he live in Michigan?
No, but
he
this is
comes
where
up
his
here.
fucking old lady's from.
Yeah.
At Alpena.
Damn.
It's kind of weird. He's been like Walmart, and then you'll get, because he's from Tool. People will like, they'll get all weird and like girly in front of him. It's pretty funny, actually.
People love Tool, man.
Yeah, they do, man.
He's just like a regular ass dude.
I know he's so fucking regular. I think it's funny that, when they do that.
They're
I
good.
feel like, and I'm not trying to like disparage the guy, but I swear I saw a video of him getting arrested drunk at the airport like a year ago.
Shit, probably.
It's a possibility.
I don't know.
Actually,
Dude, that's some shit that's probably almost happened to all of us.
Yeah, right.
I've seen that guy, that video, actually. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know the story behind it.
Yeah, I don't
I'm sure
remember.
when he hears this, I'm sure when he hears the podcast, he's gonna be very upset with me about something.
Yeah, he's a regular listener. I forgot to mention
Yeah.
That's fine.
that. No, I don't know if he is. That'd be cool, but
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, let us know where your camp is, dude.
Yeah, we're coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
somebody told me like the Coffin Cats have something up here too.
Some hidden fucking camp.
So that's the shit. You just got to have a hidden studio camp somewhere, huh?
Apparently. Or in your case, chickens.
Yeah, right.
So outside of the one show that you guys have set up, do you have plans to like hopefully do some more? Or are you just gonna kind of do the one and see how it goes?
Yeah, I feel like do the one, but we've only committed to the one, and it's nice not having anything else to think about or any other pressure. We're doing this because it's fun. We'll see what happens, and when no one's making up any rules except for us, like we're in charge of what we do. So
Yeah.
if something else happens, great. If not, hey man, it's all good.
Yeah, totally.
I would say at the very least, I'd like to maybe do like an annual show. I think that could be cool.
Yeah, as long as it stays fun, I think that's kind of where the four of us are at with it. Like low pressure, it's good times.
Just
That's
play
it.
it when you feel like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, because you'll have the people who are fans are definitely gonna come out for it.
I hope so. And even if they don't, we'll probably still show up. It's like Alex said, a cool thing. We never broke up, so we don't have to there's no this is a reunion or whatever.
Right. There's no obligations for anything. It's just that's what it is. It's a show.
It's cool that you didn't say final show ever or something, because there's bands that do that and play 20 final shows.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that for God's sake broke up, and we definitely have played 1 or 2 shows after that. And while I love those guys, and one of them was definitely for a benefit for a good cause, it's a little embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Black Sabbath thing. How many end tours did they do? And same with fucking Iron Maiden's been doing them. Slave.
I think I saw Motley Crue on their final tour 20 years ago or some shit.
Yeah, right.
That should have stayed their final tour.
Oh yeah.
So one thing we ask everybody on the show, and Alex, you said you listened to the Coalition episode, so you probably heard us ask Dan this, but what is something musically that you guys are into that people would not expect?
Oh,
do you want to go first, Justin?
I do not. I do not want to go first. I got
the first thing. Well, I guess I can't remember if you said it to Dan. Did you call it a guilty pleasure?
Yeah, guilty pleasure, or just something that like people don't expect that I listen to old jazz and shit. Just looking at you,
or if you're in the shower listening to Amy Grant, nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, because I do not have any guilty pleasures, because I don't feel guilty about listening to anything.
Right. I guess yeah.
That's why I kind of worded it as not expecting, because.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff I listen to that people wouldn't expect, but nothing that I would ever say is a guilty pleasure, because it's music, books, anything artistic. If you're consuming something artistic, that should be celebrated. It's never something, guilt to be guilty of.
Yeah, I agree.
Belinda Carlisle, I think her record is awesome, her first album. And that's not something that
Is that Making My Way Downtown? Is it that chick?
No, Heaven on Earth from 1987.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha.
Heaven is a Place on Earth.
Yeah, dude. That shit's dope.
Making My Way Downtown, that song's a banger, though. That's great. That's Vanessa something.
Yeah,
right?
Vanessa Carlisle or...
This song's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, pickle that. No. Belinda Carlisle from 1987.
Yeah, dude. No, I know what's up. I just fucking got a Belinda Carlisle cover for a Belinda Carlisle album I had, and the cover wasn't so good, so I had to swap it out with a better one. So we're down with the Heaven on Earth.
Yeah, Heaven on Earth. That's maybe an album. And then I'll give you a second one today. I was listening to the last thing that I listened to on my phone was Groove Rider, a record from 2006. It's he's an English drum and bass DJ, so I love drum and bass, for instance. So
what was it? Groove Rider?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. I was writing it down to check it out.
If you like Goldie or Omni Trio or anything like that, it's in that vein.
Okay.
But that's this question's so hard, because I know me and Alex are in the same boat of I listen to everything. I mean, I'm super into electronic music and shit, and listen to hip hop and pop. I don't know, but I do have, I think I know which I'm going to say, and this goes out to my boy, Jeff.
You can throw a couple out there too. I know it's hard to narrow it down. Korn?
Korn. The first Korn record is the heaviest record ever written.
I don't know about ever, but yeah, it is heaviest of their catalog.
Of all time. This is a long-going Hellmouth thing where me and Jeff talk about Korn to Alex and Jay, and it just, they get pretty...
We just don't understand it.
I'm not a Korn fan myself, but it was pushed down my throat in junior high, and then where I work with a bunch of hillbillies, it's cool now to listen to Korn again, so I have to hear it a lot.
I never really made it past the second record, but it's that would be my most embarrassing thing, I guess.
But
even though
it's still pretty
the second was what? Life is Peachy?
Yeah, something about Adidas and
all day I dream about sex. So what, in your opinion, to you makes it the heaviest record ever?
Because it really, really upsets Alex and Jay when...
Okay, fair enough. I didn't know if that was there was some sarcasm there or a joke, or if you were had a legitimate reason. Because There is parts in that record where Jonathan Davis like goes like animalistic vocally, where he's just fucking spouting off random noises and shit.
Yeah, I legitimately do like the record. I do like the first two records. I don't think that they're necessarily the heaviest records of all time. This is just kind of an ongoing thing. So that'd be my embarrassing thing, even though I'm not embarrassed about it, and Alex is wrong.
No, I don't mind those first few records. I like them.
Yeah. If Jeff was here, he'd have my back.
Other than Korn, do you got any others you want to give away?
I think so, man. I hate to piggyback on Alex, but I just like I work on a computer all day, so like I do listen to a lot of just like electronic ambient.
Yeah, shit you can have on to stimulate your brain, but you don't have to pay direct attention to it, kind of.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I don't. In a different life, I probably like OD'd like Electric Forest or Coachella or some shit or one of those Burning Man things, and yeah.
I've seen Burning Man, but I've never been to it. I don't like them big ass festivals. Ain't my thing.
I don't either. No.
Not my thing either.
But what I listen to, it probably sounds like I choked on a glow stick at some point.
Yeah, right. No, we're all over the place too, man. That's why we like that question.
Plus, it lets people open up to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what people are listening to outside of their own shit.
Well, it's also hard with like streaming now, though, man. It's like I can't even like my brain goes all over the place trying to pinpoint even something that I'd be embarrassed about because it's just you hit random and it's just a million different options.
You get caught in that algorithm, dude, and it's like there's 50 bands you'd check out.
Yeah.
I hate that with movies now. Like, I feel like streaming services, you are overwhelmed with what to watch, and I scroll more than I watch.
Same.
Yeah. I think a lot of people find themselves in that position.
And it happens with music streaming services, too. That's why I like having physical shit, because I'm like, oh, cool. I want to listen to this, and I have this in my hand.
Yep.
So before we wrap this up, do you guys have anything that you want to get out there to say to promote the upcoming show or the love interest project that's coming up too?
There's not a whole lot to say about Hellmouth at the moment that hasn't been said. We're playing our show October 14th. We don't have any other details other than that show. And then
what is the Instagram handle for Hellmouth?
Oh God, this is you gotta ask Jeff.
I'll put it in the episode description,
just like your listeners, because we don't know.
I think it's just
and then
it's Hellmouth. Like just Hellmouth Detroit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, there you go, Hellmouth Detroit, and then Love Interest. Our Instagram handle is Love Interest Detroit, and we have our debut 4-song EP coming out June 2nd on Council Records. It's going to come out Bandcamp Friday, so you can pre-order that on Ultra Clear vinyl and gold vinyl, and that features 3/4 of Hellmouth.
All the links for everything, like the Bandcamp for that, the Hellmouth Instagram and etc., I'll put in the episode description for everybody, and then like when we have the episode uploaded, I'll have it all in there too.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
So
thanks so much.
When this episode's released, I believe that will have been released.
Yeah, this episode will be out. It'll be 1 week from today. Well, yeah, thank you guys for jumping on the show. We really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to all things Hellmouth coming.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having us, man. That was fun.
Yeah, can't wait to check out Love Interest, man.
Yeah.
All right, let us know what you think.
For sure, we will.
Yeah, I just followed the Instagram account, and then I'll definitely check that out when I get out of here tonight.
Awesome.
Thanks again. You guys have a good night.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
Yep. Later, bros.
Take care. Yep.
Bye.